Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday's lesson on matrices. A lot of this lesson is going to be review from what we did right before we left for these past 3 weeks. So let's jump right into it because I don't want to make this video long. Okay, first and foremost, the contents of this video will all be in a PDF format also under assignments, so you can access it that way too. So if you're having trouble seeing these slides because maybe the font is too small in the video, I don't think it'll be a problem, but just in case, you can always open it up as a PDF later. Okay? The first three slides, the first four slides actually are going to be review. So let's just jump straight into it. This slide is really, really easy. Okay? Adding and subtracting matrices. So let's look right here. Okay, we're going to do A right there. Okay, if we want to add these, you do 0 plus the -2, and you get that, and you finally get -2. Okay, if you want to um, get the top middle term, you do 5 plus the 3, okay, right there, and you get the 8, and so on and so forth. Same idea with subtraction. Okay, so pretty straightforward stuff when it comes to adding and subtracting matrices. You can get some practice with these problems right here. Remember, the way we reference matrices, this would be a 2 by 3. Okay, 2 by 3. It's rows and then columns. So this would be 2, okay, 2 by 3 matrix. Okay. Sometimes they also use the I and J notation. Okay, and yeah. So next page has to do with scalar multiplication. Okay, that's just a fancy term for multiplying everything by a constant. Okay, so if you look right here for A, okay, I'm multiplying everything by -5, which just means I distribute this -5 to the 2, the 5, the -3, and -6. And that's what this middle area does. And then you finally get these 4 items after you distribute it. Okay? Um, Now, when you can do that 2 times right here. Okay, you do it once here and once here to 2 different matrices, A and B. Okay, let me change this color actually to green over here. All right, and so you would get that, multiply everything by 2, and then for the B, you multiply everything by 3, and that's what these two mini steps combine to become in this middle bigger step. And then finally, so let me just circle back here. So the yellow here correlates with these two right here. The green here correlates with these two right here. And finally, you add, okay, those two up, and you finally get this right over here. Okay? Actually, rather, that's the second to last step. You get that. Okay? You can practice. You can practice this right over here below. Okay, just like in the previous slide, I got some practice problems below right here. Okay, now matrix multiplication. Okay, matrix multiplication. This is what we left off with pretty much right before we left for the 3 weeks. Okay, so remember, we're multiplying. The big idea here is to multiply row by column. And one thing I forgot to say was that these first 3 slides should be done pretty much without a calculator. You can use a basic function calculator, but don't use a graphing calculator function that I taught you on how to multiply matrices yet. The next slide is where you use your graphing calculator function. Okay, but right now you should be doing things manually. Okay, just as a review. Okay, so let me let me do A right here. Okay, so for A, okay, you can see that we're going to basically use this row with this column. Okay, and that gives us the top left. Okay, and then afterwards you're going to use this same row, however, with this column right here. Okay, to get that item. Okay, and then same thing, same. We just keep going. Do you use this column the third time to get this right here. You use afterwards this column here to get this top right item right there. Okay. Now afterwards, then you switch, okay, this to that row and go back to the first column to get this bottom left item. Okay. Move it on over to get that item. Okay. Move this over to get that item, and move that over to get that item. Okay. And remember, we're multiplying in this particular case, we're multiplying the 1 and the 4, and that's 1 times the 4. And then you are multiplying the 3 and the 6, okay? And then you're adding both products up, okay, to finally get this 22, okay? All right. Now, all they're going to do for part B, okay, for part B, they're going to just reverse these two. Okay, they're going to reverse these two. Okay, so you are going to get this, so you're going to reverse these two, and that's how you get this problem in B. Now you're going to find that B is actually no solution. You cannot multiply it because here you have, again, we're going to try to multiply this first row with this first column. Okay, but there's not enough numbers in this column, okay, to be able to multiply it with this row right here. Okay, this row has 4 numbers, okay, 4 terms or items, and this only has 2 items. So this one is going to be no solution. Okay, here is practice with similar problems, same idea. Okay, and if you want to look back at week 26 Wednesday and Thursday, you can look at those. Um, you can look at those slides for more practice if you need. Okay. Now, next slide, okay, is going to be using your graphing calculator. Okay, so these problems, graphing calculator is totally okay. I will post a video on how on recapping how to use the graphing calculator for these, but it's actually pretty self-explanatory. The only 2 buttons that you need to press basically in the beginning to get jump started on this is alpha, which is the green button towards the top left, and zoom. Okay, and then you will see the matrix tab pull up from the bottom, and then you'll see row and column. So you enter the first matrix, okay. In 18, well, let's try 20. In 20, it's basically going to be a 2 by 4 matrix, okay. And then after you're done entering that in, then you hop on over to the right of that matrix you just entered in and enter in a brand new matrix by pressing alpha zoom again. And this time it's going to be a 4 by 2 matrix. Okay? And then you just press enter after those 2 matrices are set up right next to each other because that means multiply. And then it just spits out the answer. Okay? So that's how you do 18, 20, and 22. Okay, I'll try to post a video on the instructions I just gave you for graphing calculators, using the graphing calculator for multiplying matrix. But I think it's pretty, after the really simple instructions I gave you, I think it's pretty self-explanatory from there. Okay, we're almost done. There is basically, I'm giving you, this is really the heart and soul of today's lesson, which are these 4 or 5 word problems, okay? And it starts off very easy. It's 4 word problems, okay? So 46, 47, 48, and 50, and I gave you guys a lot of hints for the problems that I felt like you need hints for. Okay, 46 is super, super straightforward. Okay, you're basically going to multiply everything by constant. I'll let you find out what the constant is. It's very, very easy. Okay, here, okay, I gave you a hint. Okay, here they ask you to multiply B, the matrix B times the matrix A. Okay, in that order. However, there's this exponent of T. Okay, what does that mean? It's in this yellow box right here. That mean that means you basically rewrite it from a vertical matrix to a horizontal matrix. Okay, so you rewrite basically this into this. Okay, anytime you see an exponent of t, you're rewriting it from vertical to horizontal, or vice versa, horizontal to vertical. Okay, so it's just it kind of resembles the shape of a capital T. Okay, because I was kind of tripping out at first on why did they choose that letter T. Okay, but if you look at the top of the T, it's a horizontal line. The bottom of the T, it's a vertical line. So that's, I think, the logic behind choosing the letter T. Okay, flipping the horizontal matrix into a vertical and vice versa. Okay, um, this one is very easy. The heart and soul of this problem is just writing what it means. I just need one or two sentences. Okay, um, this really is this is the problem that I feel is the most important. I gave you a bunch of hints on this one, and it's actually not that hard once you look at the hints. Okay, it might be a little confusing if I didn't put up these hints, but if you look at the hints, it's really, really not that bad. Okay, sometimes I put the hints on a separate PDF, but this time I'm going to put it on the same PDF. Okay, so just follow the hints, and I think you should be good to go. Okay, the answers to the word problems, okay, or to today's slides, which are 18, 20, and 22, and the word problems will be on a separate PDF. So open up a PDF that has a title with the word answers in it, and you should be good to go with checking the answers you got with with the answers I got. Okay. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to cover with you guys for today. I think that should be it. Last thing I'm going to say is that um, yesterday I was thinking that I was going to put the answers up on the next day after the lesson was given. So if the give answer if the less if the lesson was given on Tuesday, which is today, the answers will be given to you on Wednesday. That was the original plan, but I think I'm going to revise that plan and make it so that I'm going to give you the answers the same day. Okay, so if that changes back to my first plan, which was giving it the answers on the next day, I'll keep you posted. Either way, I'll make announcements and let you know what it is. But as of right now, the answers will be, as of today, the answers will be up today. Okay, thank you very much for listening, guys.